So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go again. It's high time right here, right now, to get into our last match of the night. The funniest thing is we are gonna be looking at another Terran versus Terran. So introducing first, here on the southeast side of Nightshade Alley, it is our red Terran, the Invader PH. And his opponent, here on the top left instead, looking to work his butt off, looking to really just improve and show off here. It's our blue Terran player, Xyborg. So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Another game, another bats, another match here in the SCPH replay casting scene. So it is going to be high time for Terran versus Terran matchup. SCP is going to be going for the brawl. And we already see a good start here because the Invader as well as Xyborg going to be looking to set up these standard walls. Now, interesting enough, Xyborg will be forced to relocate his barracks a little earlier on the Invader. In the meantime, I like his position a lot better, but I think it's just because of the orientation of the map. When you're really trying to come up ahead, you're trying to come up a little better in the scene. You do want like a more stable wall, right? And in a setup like this, the Invader can get a free add-on here, and Xyborg can't just because of how the position of his base is in the first place. Okay, so that's just how it is sometimes, and Xyborg just needs to adjust properly. He is gonna go for that Reaper though. He already has his Gus up and running. In the meantime though, the Invader gonna be starting things off with the Order command, and thank freaking god we get a sub 2-minute expansion. We are actually gonna get game here, and I'm already happy that we are gonna see something pretty proper. So after 2 Bronze League Heroes game, guys, I am almost about to go crazy. So I really feel like this game is either gonna make me or break me. So we'll find out very soon if these Reapers are gonna touch. They literally miss each other. And I think the Invader did get a little bit of spot there, a little bit of blue on the minimap, but it just doesn't happen for him to give the chase there. Now Xyborg though, roaming on around, sees the command center, and it's gonna be a free pick. Goodbye to the SCP. Beautifully done there by Xyborg. Use that scouting information early on to really prevent this second base up and running. And in the meantime, it is gonna be our blue Terran trying to get this SCP building this own command center. Anyway, though, Xyborg has decided to mobilize his barracks. Very smartly done. Factory gonna be into play as well. And I can really say with just that one pick, it is our blue Terran in the lead. Reaper right now getting some free kills left, right, and center. 3 kills so far. Xyborg right now taking advantage of the Invader PH's lack of, well, what do you say? Lack of empathy for these workers. That is just gonna be a really valuable Reaper doing all it can and more. Now Xyborg in a pretty good lead, Invader in the meantime doing all he can also, and gets his command center up and running. But with a factory online, tech tree is better here for our blue Terran. In any case though, it's high time for the 1-1-1, 2-base 1-1-1, early aggression with the starport perhaps, but it seems like for Xyborg, this is gonna be a 1-1 to transition into a bio-based build. Now getting 1-1-1 that early isn't too common, but it does allow you to get that medivac double pump if need be. Tech lab onto the factory as well. Double pumped Reaper is actually here for Xyborg, and he feels like since he got a lot of success earlier on with it, he can really punish his opponent to the best degree. Anyway, though, the Invader PH playing defensively instead, going for that bunker before that, well, 3rd expansion, and factory gonna be online here. Still, these Marines are chilling. Engineering Bay already in the duplicate here for the Invader PH. So build order-wise, it's a little sloppy. Missile turrets are also into play. Very proactive for no real reason. But I guess since the starport is there, it will prevent earlier drops here from the blue Terran. In any case, everything is looking a lot more standard. Everything is looking a lot better than our previous 2 games. So we will stick by it to say the least. In any case though, refinery gonna be up and running. Here we go with another. No, it's just a factory. Looking a little bit more of that production. No, it's 2 factories actually, which really interests me because in a scenario like this, it is gonna be mech here for Xyborg actually. Engineering Bay perhaps for missile turrets for the later parts of the game. As here and now, the Invader PH littering his base with all these MCs, and he's playing very defensively to say the least. In any case, we are going to get the Marine siege tank composition here from Invader PH. He can really go for a proper push into the later stage with a proper setup with the bio. On the other side for Cyborg, it seems like Mech is gonna be his gameplay here. And well, it's a missile turret onto the main mineral line instead. Both sides afraid from, well, any air units coming their way, but it's really not happening. Instead for Cyborg, he decides to bring on that Hellion. This just gets on through anyway. And really just goes to show. As for Cyborg, he does the good spots many ways. So far, so good though. Cyborg right now doing all he can and more to the gas counts. He's really trying to get as much gas as he can as he's going for that fourth binary there. But on the other side, the InvaderPH really keeping up on the minerals instead. 2 base versus 2 base right now. He's a little slower than macro for sure, but it really feels like it is going to be Cyborg right now to trying to bring out more and more of these units as the Invader just wants to defend against all that drop antics that he's been having to deal with so far. Anyway, though we've seen this before, scans are a really safe way to go for a scout. And in the lower tiers, of course, you just like, okay, I don't want to bring a unit there. Now I'm just going to decide to go for the scan instead. In any case, though, it seems like the cat has stabbed my finger, and I am bleeding. Broadcast, though. That's just how it is going to be sometimes. As there we go with the mule drop though, the InvaderPH realizing that he needs a little more minerals into this one. And there we go with the racks count already. 3 racks going online here for InvaderPH. He has that 1-1-1 setup again. And of course, we are going to get that upgrade count. +1 double pumped here for the InvaderPH. +1 here for Cyborg. Also going to be next on the list. Second engine going to be up and running. So what is the point of the double factory here? Really interesting for Cyborg. He goes for 2 tech labs with 2 factories, right? But the Widow Mine doesn't need a tech lab itself. He could go gone for the reactor. He can go for the transfer, which I would really like to see, so he can get stim pack as well as combat shield. But it seems like the focus right now is really to get those Marines coming into this game. Anyway, supply depot onto the east side. Here we go with medevacs right now being built. It's a very slow macro right now from both of our players. So not anything against them, but I really feel like this is gonna be a game where it is very macro based, but without that aggression, it really just goes to show it's very difficult in so many ways. Scando comes online. Here we go right now. There was a little bit of a push, and apparently the InvaderPH brings some brains there. Now, will either side actually get this wave pushing? Because usually, with a 1-1 setup, this is where the timing attacks do happen. This is where that one of these 2 players decide to go for the push itself. And in a scenario like this, InvaderPH right now just keeping the Reaper on the inside of the bunker there. Siege tanks are going to be setting on up. There we go, a little bit of the move-out scans are online again. And you can really see that neither side wants to be the first aggressor here. That's a little bit of a problem in a matchup like this, because someone needs to actually do something in the first place. Anyway, though, we'll find a time right now for Cyborg. Hit on through again. Well. He's going for concussive shell. He's going for stim back. And is he actually going to be moving out? Not going to happen. Just putting a little bit of a plateau there on to the in-between in the second and the third base. Anyway, the InvaderPH is in the middle of the map right now. Siege tanks are going to be in play again. Vikings are set up as well. And it really is just going to be a creeping barrage right now, reminiscent of Boudoir to the lead. In any case, though, it is going to be a high time right here, right now, for the Invader to all and more to really set up the defenses. Viking already going for a brawler here, scouting information. Find a little bit of a chase, a little bit of micro actually happening, but doesn't really matter per se. In any case, combat shield is going online very soon. And oh my, is it time for the fight? It is going to be high time for the engagement. Cyborg going to get caught out in the open though. These medivacs are not really paying attention. There we go though with the back on the left side. The Vikings are doing all the damage they can. And with the Marines torn apart there from the InvaderPH, he doesn't have too much ground game into this one. But in any case, the skies are clear. They're really controlled here by Invader so far. Get rid of the medevac. Go for the Marines right beside this. He needs to go for the load, then lose that siege tank for free. Not a bad engagement for both sides, but I can really say that, you know, in a matchup like this, siege tanks are probably OP, honestly. From the last 3 games, I have realized that siege tanks are the best unit in the game. Bar none, nothing else. Siege tanks #1, to say the least. Anyway, Cyborg has decided that's enough action there. Gonna be backing on out, but they're gonna be looking to mobilize. Third base is gonna be up and running. Is this actually Invader gonna be going on the attack? And have I pegged this game completely wrong? Invader is gonna be going here onto a potential aggressive expansion of Xyborg, but we'll see nothing whatsoever. Viking right now is flying on around. And what is the play here? Now, TheInvaderPH is a pretty good invasion force onto this third. He is also going for Marauders. He still has his 3 racks. He's going to double factories. And at least he's on 3 base right now. In any case, so for Xyborg, it's hanging on around. And it's going to be high time right now to go for a potential. Just looking to do as much as possible yet again to put the hamper on in the first place. In any case though, is the turret gonna get hampered first? Here comes the stim back. But you know, if you don't get rid of that missile turret, that medivac is actually gonna fall. He had the right idea to bring that one down first and foremost, but he's gonna lose out those healers instead. And yeah, just that's it. Invader decides that's enough. I have band-aids. I'm gonna be backing on that instead. Still though, from double factory, we are gonna be getting finally the multiple racks enter here from Xyborg. So it really feels like it is gonna be bio again here from both sides. Standard stuff in a matchup like this, Terran versus Terran especially. We'll see who has the bigger bulk, who has the bigger army count, who just has the better unit composition as well as unit micro getting into this one. Now, of course, when you're playing that bio, it can go 2 ways. You can play that Marine focus, you can play that Marauder focus. But usually in a matchup like this, I'd really be surprised to see a lot of Marauders because we are seeing bio on both sides. It has to be Marine Warfare, it has to be Siege Tanks, also getting some DPS on. By this point in time, we get some more scans coming our way. In any case, it's time for Xyborg to mobilize and move on at 3 bases still though for both of our players by the 13-minute mark. So it really feels like gonna be a lot more sluggish getting to that 200 mark. 46 workers though for Xyborg to the 59 of TheInvaderPH. Xyborg needs to do a better job of really getting that SCV count up and running. There's so many scans, it's ridiculous how much neither side wants to move out. But this is gonna be time for Xyborg to bring in these units, to bring in the Thunder, and maybe, just maybe, do something a little different with this drop play. In any case though, we're go with the load on down already, doing all the damage that they can. But we talk that we steal the limit there, and oh my god, even more and more DPS into this one. Xyborg though, gonna be losing things out here and there. TheInvaderPH still into the cards. And now Xyborg has just cleaned up house in such a good way. In any case though, it's our blue Terran right now, taking control of the lot. Invader has to back out. He loses his natural basically, because of just how Xyborg is positioned. And since he doesn't want to go for his own push with his own units, he's just letting this one happen. Anyway though, the siege tank of red creeping closer. TheInvaderPH still doesn't have that vision. And surprise, surprise, Xyborg right now gonna be going for that attack onto the third base instead. Over the command getting hampered, but of course siege tanks are just completely free to do all the damage that they can do in the first place. Xyborg right now trying to mobilize on that, but that is just so unwise in a scenario like this. There we go with the punish, there we go with the cascade, and there we go with the takedown. A good cleanup there from TheInvaderPH after all is said and done. But at least Xyborg putting on the pressure, putting on a little bit more efforts, and doing all they can to really just surprise and add things up to this game. Anyway though, we just continue on with a little bit more. And this TheInvaderPH does have this big bulk of army. Okay, we're looking to make it through to the other side instead. In any case though, seems like for TheInvaderPH puts it in the middle of the map. Reaper and Manufacturer coming his way on the other side. We're getting more and more of the starport play though. That's pretty much just how it is. Overall, you can hear the siege tank do the damage that it needs to do. And there we go with the TheInvaderPH just hanging on around again and again. Marines though gonna be into play, mobilizing to the eastern side. This third base right now still up and running. We are gonna get finally a fort, but the TheInvaderPH this time is the one playing the aggressor. So it seems like it's a your turn, my turn kind of thing here between our two players. It really feels like that you're given opportunities for both sides to both attack and defend at the same time. So it's really interesting to say the least, because in a scenario like this, it's just a setup we're in. They're trying to learn in a way with one another. They're trying to figure out how everything is gonna be unfolding. And here we go again. The TheInvaderPH trying to come on out one more time. Does put a little bit of pressure here onto the natural. It really just goes to show that there's gonna be a lot of damage coming into this one. But here and now, it's Xyborg right now on the eastern side instead. Anyway though, Marine's gonna clean up. That's pretty much it. So very interesting. Well, that was all happening. I heard a lot of tinnitus for some reason, but that's just how it is. Cleanup crew is grow, and this time it's now time for Xyborg to go on the attack. Push pull. See who's the one first, who's the one second. But it really just is a hand back scenario from our two players. Marines, Marauders are still here. It's the MMM connection here, and now Siege tanks are there as well. And in the meantime, it's Xyborg playing that 4th base up and running. 5th base gonna be going online very, very soon as well. +3 gonna be there too. And oh my god, is that a battle cruiser? A unit that's actually bigger than anything else? What an amazing sight to behold! An 18-minute battlecruiser tech, which is really interesting. I do want to see more, like, in all honesty, I do want to see more and more of the drop play here, especially the fact that this is just gonna be upgrade after upgrade after upgrade right here, right now, from our two players. In any case though, we will find out everything that is needed to know by the scans again. All of that energy coming because of the scans. And really, just all about intel right. Knowing is half the battle. We are basically 80 minutes in, so it's really interesting that half of the battles haven't really unfolded yet. It's a little bit of a reprieve on both sides. It is high time for this to go for a little bit more. But it really is just that pure passiveness in these kind of games, guys. When the biggest thing I feel, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best player, but the biggest thing I feel for every low tier player is just that fear to attack. When I play ladder, I understand that feeling. But I also realize that if I don't attack, if I don't do anything, then I'm just gonna be stuck in my ways for so long. And I've lost games, of course, because of that for quite a while. The thing to really take note, though, is when both players are passive, it's just how it happens. It just turns into a little bit of a slugfest, but eventually, finally, someone is gonna relent, and someone is gonna decide to come on out. So this is gonna be the InvaderPH's time to... You were the chosen one! You were the chosen one, and you are backing on that. So, again, never mind. Invader, come on. Please just commit on this. I trust you. I believe in you. I need you to do this for me. I need you to come out. Give me a fight to enjoy. And in all honesty, you know, doing the 3 games that I saw go long might have not been the best idea. Because, oh, wow, oh, backwards a tactical warp onto the main base. That is actually huge. This is actually pretty good, because Xyborg can go for a few shots here and there. If he goes for the tech lab, that would be absolutely amazing. This will shut down a lot of upgrades. Yamato cannon onto the orbital command. Pay attention though, the tech lab is glowing green. Please shoot the tech lab. Please, I beg you, shoot the tech lab instead. Finally, the tech lab is getting hurt. Smart surface won't go down. InvaderPH bringing everything in, even the things that can't shoot up in the air to try and defend. And Xyborg whipping out the wild card here. 1 BC might go down, though 10 kills already. There we go with the step back, but really trying to add that DPS. But unfortunately, all the brains have gone down. And air power strong. The InvaderPH did not know what hit. The new tech lab is up and running just to die. No new production whatsoever though. Oh, it's mighty time for the Thor. And the cannon fire is just absolutely succulent there to force out these VCs to back off. Surprise, surprise. Battle cruisers out of nowhere. And who cares about scan? Oh, that VC will go down. Because that's what the problem with scan is. Only get bits and pieces of intel. It doesn't really tell you what the hell is going on unless you scan at the right idea, because this is now Xyborg sending in more and more of these VCs, and this is the late game I have been expecting. This is the late game that I have been looking forward to. And well, the TheInvaderPH gonna be losing out on the count again. This orbital command is quite low already. And oh, that's the SCP is going for the repair instead. Widow Mines are set on up. CyberPH, please don't step on this. Please don't step on this. Oh my god. Medevac's have gone down. Though there is no armory for TIP, so he might need to get those, of course. Go protect on the Widow Mine, because this is just a little sad. He goes for the bar. Why are we getting scans for mines, Widow Mines that don't have? Oh wait, there is an armory, so okay, my bad. I think my brain has turned into mush, so the scan makes sense. But in any case, that is just a little unfortunate to say the least. Xyborg right now finally going on to the south side, really bringing all he can and more. Well, this is just the blue Terran army. Finally in position to go for a pretty good strike. Planetary Fortress is ready to go. And the real lesson here, guys, is fight better. Know when to fight. When you watch this, when any of the players have watched the last 3 games, there is one reason, as this is a pretty good concave here from Xyborg, but unfortunately he just doesn't have the, what do you say, he just doesn't have sustain in a way. But I really feel like he could have won that out. Marauders will not really do anything against all these Marines, in all honesty. The Thor is the one who can put the damage on, but he could have won that out. The Planetary Fortress Wars will make a difference, but back to my point. All the 6 players involved in the last 3 games, to everyone who watches this match, if you are stuck on low tier, the first reason you have to look into is this. Why is this game past 20 minutes already? Why is this game seeing no one attack? Once you figure that out, you are gonna boost your rank up to an absolutely magnanimous degree, because there are just so many players like this that do not know when to attack. And that is the hard reality of StarCraft itself. If you don't know when to attack, you are just waiting for something to happen. And when both players are just waiting for something to happen, that's when the stereotype of RTS games go really, really long. Because by average, StarCraft games are like 15-20 minutes, right? It's just all about aggression timings, and that is what really makes a good player different from a player that is just starting out. It's not even decency. It really is just knowing when to attack. But I really can commend the Cyber that they have an understanding of the tech tree, they have an understanding of the build, and I did like that they did go for very, very early expansions. I had a lot of hope for them at the very start. But late game is where these games have just no idea what they're doing. These games do not belong in late game whatsoever, because there is nothing happening whatsoever. It's a prolongation of the initial attack. It's like we're seeing a clip just dragged along when it doesn't need to be. All these minerals, all this gas being harvested isn't really going to the proper sources, but I think it's finally time for an engagement. So don't let me down, TheInvader and Xyborg. It's finally time to see the fight here. Scans do go online. They're looking around for Widow Mines, of course. I'd love to see them know if they're really this paranoid. Build a Raven. They already had a Starport Sec to begin with. More and more production though of bases here for Xyborg. He wants to go for the expansions. He's only on 52 workers on this many bases. And the Invader on the other side, 47 workers in response. I feel like though for Invader, if the going gets tough, he might be able to be the one eking it down, in all honesty. He has lower minerals rather than gas, and with the gas ready to go, if it does become a resource shortage, he's the one who can really surprise his opponents, per se, with higher tier tech units. But that is looking into like, if we're at 26 minutes right now, I think that'll be like an hour and a half in. And I refuse to cast something like that. And again, though, Xyborg right now going for the drop. That's actually a really good strike. He's able to hamper the Invader and spot out a potential expansion there. There we go, though, with the strike force, of course, going down to the big bulk. But that is just basically Xyborg making sure that Invader is on his toes. In any case, got some command centers up and running here. There we go with the refinery as well. And now it is time for the TheInvaderPH to really bring things up. Now, since no one's watching, I've turned off all the Twitch chat and everything. So, I really appreciate everyone that actually tunes on into the first place. Vikings, though, are set on up. We got 4 of these ready to go. The TheInvaderPH, though, losing nats on actually. So, what is the plan here? Man Center is up. You know, there is just nothing to really analyze by this. I think the best thing to do for both of our sides is they finish up their upgrades, they really commit on whatever the hell they're building, And yeah, Marine Marauder Siege Tank versus Marine Marauder Siege Tank. You can't really go wrong with that per se. Damage being done though onto that poor refinery. Scan gameplay is there to really see things out. And there we go with the counter engagement. Xyborg now on the low ground. Here comes the Invader trying to go for the push. One Siege Tank couldn't go down immediately. There we go with the shock cannon fire yet again. And oh snap, it's not for the Cascade to come on through. These rocks are in the way though. And will it actually pan out to something any special? Not going to be the case so far. In any case, though, the Liberator winning out a clash there against a... I don't know what that was. But at least it survives with 12 HP to spare. Anyway, though, really smart here for Xyborg. This is what I was talking about. Get these fragments, they will be a big boon to say the least. In terms of upgrades, though, Xyborg does have the lead into that one. Something else to note, he has less coal supply than the Invader, I think. No, they're pretty even on that, so that's something we can really work on in the future. Anyway, engagement happens in the middle of the map. There we go with more and more of these scans. And I think this game is like silver or gold in that sense. This is a lot better, of course, than the last two games, which are pretty much bronze tier, maybe like wood tier in a way. This is an understanding of the game, which is not an understanding of how to fight. And eventually, you know, these guys will be able to climb the stars. These guys will be able to understand what is right. And, you know, looking into criticism like this is the best way for them to realize that they can't just be like this. This game is 35 minutes for no reason. This could have been done by 10, 15, maybe even 20. With one of the two pushes, with one of the two counterattacks. It really is just a crescendo that has gone too long. At the armor though, absolutely huge. Good opportunity for Xyborg. Give chase. TheInvaderPH, the backing on up to safer ground onto the higher side. And is this gonna be the call? Xyborg is letting the space fall for this. He has the anti-armor into play already. The Siege Tanks are getting some good DPS on. But in essence, the Invader is gonna get this base down and dusted. Now, Xyborg got the anti-armor, and he has decided to push away. That's a very interesting call. When you have the anti-armor, you just want to push into the debuff. And is this really gonna be a baser scenario? Out of nowhere, this game has turned into an attack on the attack. The TheInvaderPH though doesn't want to go into this one and will be looking to defend instead. Units still caught mid-transition. There we go already with Invader with the Siege Tank set on up. And Xyborg has had enough, just like me. He's just saying, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna bring everything I can. And this is where the fear settles in. Because they see that when they are the ones to attack, they lose everything. That is just a matter of positioning. Positioning is absolutely key. You make those cascades, you find ways to get rid of entrenchments, and that is just something that these two players aren't able to really do at the most efficient way. But at least Xyborg is brute forcing it out, really going for the push right here, right now, doing all he can to destroy everything in his path, but unfortunately it's his army going down instead. And the losses there are absolutely heavy from Xyborg. Now for the TheInvaderPH, he can actually go for the push out here. He should be very confident after shutting that all down, to say the least. But something about Xyborg has a lot of production actually. He has so many factories, he has so many racks, and I do like how he has a good SimCity cascade here. In any case, TheInvaderPH now looking to find a little bit of fulcrum. I kinda am a little sad that Xyborg doesn't have all orbital commands, because that is where he can really come back in the field department with the minerals. In any case though, here we go again. After right now being hampered, Widow Mine gets the shot on, but it's now a mech-based Marcy for Xyborg. Transitioning in from Bio to mech isn't really too standard, but 31 minutes in, anything can absolutely happen. Finally time for the TheInvaderPH to get the +3/+3 online, +2 gonna be going online here for Xyborg as well. And here comes the push, here comes the damage. Good high ground here for the TheInvaderPH, still keeping everything alive. But Xyborg right now getting more production again. And it is high time right here, right now for Xyborg to really do all he can and more. TheInvaderPH shutting down this new upcoming base. And trying to turn into Planetary Forge. It's not gonna survive so long. And oh, TheInvaderPH, he's gonna get caught out here. The doors right now getting lifted off. The medevac's gonna get the hell out of here. And surprise, surprise, Xyborg actually going for the counterattack, as Invader isn't really efficient with his SCVs. Just doesn't have the right amount of bases right now for his workers. And these things idle here are just so unfortunate. Now, the most interesting thing is, though, they have very high APM. look at both Cyborg and TheInvaderPH and Leon. They had around 300 APM during that fight, but there it goes, slipping on down to 100. But there literally just is the scenario here. They're going to the fight, they're really trying to go for as many clicks as possible per se, but they're just forgetting about nuances here and there. Well, mine again gonna get the connection, Force are still surviving, and Cyborg has learned his lesson. Finally, an enlightenment. It took 32 minutes for enlightenment to come, but I will not have it any other way. This isn't like the other two games. This is more of a push that is so confident. This is more of a push realizing of how much resources he has in the first place to really keep things up. And he is just now looking for a little bit of regroup, and he's hunting down these expansion bases, which is really the smarter option. He doesn't want to run in to the siege tank entrenchments. He wants to break these bases that can actually give InvaderPH money and get rid of these SCVs to hurt InvaderPH where it really matters. The natural only has only 1,500 minerals there. Here we go again. Xyborg right now looking on the ground, and with these SCVs here on the east side, if they get cornered, that's gonna be a big loss here for InvaderPH. At least this game has picked up. That's all I gotta say. There is a saving grace. There is a chance for both Xyborg and InvaderPH to really climb up the ladder. And as that orbital command will go down, I feel like this is the beginning of the end here for our red player. Cyborg is just in such a good spot. Here we go again, though, with the drops, and the Hellbats are doing all they can and more, melting down those units. There we go with the scan yet again, trying to get on through and get that vision for the InvaderPH. He's sticking on to the high ground even more so. Anyway, though, scan frenzy. That's what I've learned. TVT loads here. Scan. Now I think my future precedent, if it's a low tier game and it goes past 20 minutes, I'm not gonna cast it at all anymore. In all honesty, I do like, I'm gonna put a minimum requirement for low games to be like diamond and master. I think that'd be a good way to really go about things. Because I feel like I'm just repeating myself sometimes when I do that same lesson. There's nothing to really take away from a game like this besides that whoever actually plays the attack wins. We saw it in the past two games, we see it now. Cyborg is the one who goes for the attack, and if these players can learn it and realize it a lot earlier, these games should really go like this. Anyway though, Hellbat's gonna be backing on that. InvaderPH gets these SCVs caught in the middle, and I think that's game. These SCVs are doing nothing. InvaderPH has enough money for one more command center, but he can't really go for the harvest, but he refuses to do so. And the siege tanks are OP. That's what I've learned today. Siege tanks OP. There we go with the Vikings getting the shutdown there. And this was an interesting call for my team. It was a really good start. It was a mainly best of 5 between Dash and Nux, but the past hour, I'd say, has been a trying time. Has been a very trying time. Now that's how life is sometimes, and GG is called. 35 minutes of suffering. We are done. GG, galing. Cyborg will win it out. And I am proud of Cyborg. I am very proud of Cyborg. He was the one to play the aggression. There was that part that they went for counterattacks on both sides. But unfortunately for them, they still fell into the same hole. They still fell into the same hole of refusing to attack, of being so scared of one another, especially for siege tanks. That is what hurt them. Because they had already the basics down. Go for the command centers early, get this expansion, go for harassment. Actually, the drop play was really good from Cyborg, and then the counter attack from the TheInvaderPH was really better. I really had a lot of hope for this game. But then, if these two players do want to get better, that last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that cannot happen like that. There is no reason for either side to play passively. And I'm saying this because I can see a lot of hope for them. Especially for Cyborg, as I said. Last 5 minutes, he decided to play the aggressor, realized that it was a high time to go for the attack, and that wasn't about really coming back. That was him in the lead. That was him understanding how to push the advantage. That was him understanding how to push his opponents. And that was very well-deserved victory. This has been Replay Casting Session number 8. That last slog was very painful, but I hope it really serves as a learning experience for you guys, and I had a few laughs there and then. But it's time to sign off. It's time to call it a night. It's time to bid adieu to this set of games.